Questions? Yeah, well, you've played each other one time, and so you've got that first game to go on in terms of your preparation for the second time around, and this is equally difficult going through the second round of the league. Anybody can beat anybody. I think that's what we're learning from this conference.
You benched Josh late in that game. Seemed unhappy with his defensive effort.
But I wouldn't term it benching him. And benching him means that I'm sitting him down, and it's out of punishment. I didn't punish Josh.
So it wasn't for not hustling back? Is that what seemed to
But that one play when I took him out, yeah, I was disappointed that, he thought he got fouled. And whether or not he got fouled doesn't matter. If they don't blow the whistle, you got to sprint back. And actually it created a 4-against-5 situation where they got an open 3 out of it. And so yeah, he did come out right after that play. But as the game progressed, even going into overtime, one of my assistants was saying, we got Josh with a whole new. My thing is, when you're that late into a game, you want to play the guys that have been in there, or in the flow of the game, that are fresh and have been gone. That was really the biggest reason. And then our defensive matchups were really horrible. In other words, if we brought Josh in, then that puts Reeves either on 24, the driver, who was driving around us, or it put him on Kukoc, which is a terrible matchup for either one. And same thing with Honeycutt. We were much better matched up because we had Jeremy guarding Kukoc, and we had Malcolm on Abbott. And so our matchups were just so much better playing small in that game. They're a very hard team for us to match up with because they're so perimeter-oriented.
So was it punitive? The overtime wasn't a punitive game?
No, it was not.
Would you hesitate to take out other players if you thought they were hustling back?
Yeah, in that situation, that was just something we had just talked about is, we don't want to complain about the officials during the middle of a game or complain about a call and to the point where we're not getting back.
I guess my question is, you've got other players that Reeves at times has walked back down the court. Is there a difference there?
Yeah, there's no difference. I don't remember him not walking back in the game against ASU. So, you're going to completely different games, different times of the year.
My question is are there different standards?
No, but it's happened to Josh before, too. And it's not the only time it's happened for Josh, as I remember.
Coach, last time you caught USC, they won 3-4, and one loss was against Washington. Now they're kind of stumbling 2-4 in the last 6 games coming into it. Do you feel like they're catching them at a different time, in terms of where they are maybe mentally?
I don't think it really matters now. They're a good team. I watched their game against Arizona, and Arizona played really well this weekend. I thought both against us and them. And I think the fact that they're tied for first place kind of speaks to that. And they're in the same situation we were at ASU, where it came down to the last minute of the game. But they're a team that's very dangerous, and they're a hard matchup for us. Again, it's different. It's way different now. Now we're playing against these big guys inside, and Alex Stevenson played great against us the first time. I think he had 16 rebounds in that game, so he was really dominant in the paint. And obviously Vucevic played real well and hit a big 3 to start the second half off. I watched the game yesterday, and I forgot that we were up at halftime with the ball. And we came out and got an offensive foul on the first play, and Josh picked up 2 quick fouls in the first few minutes of that second half, and that obviously hurt us. But they played well against us and did a good job.
You talked about this after the game. Brandon had a lot of problems with Vucevic
Mm-hmm.
defensively. Will you stay away from that matchup as much as you
Yeah, I will. Yeah, he had real problems and as you watch the film, and I watched it again yesterday, Vucevic was able to score on him, a number of times, and he outweighs him by 40 pounds, and he's a hard matchup for anybody, but I think that for Brendan it was especially difficult. He was able to just knock him back and get to where he wanted to go. He hit that three. Brendan came in. Josh had just received his. I think he had one foul going in the second half, and he picked up two right away. One on a moving screen, and one on the one where the guy fell on the floor. He and I think it was Vucevic both fell, but Brennan came in when he hit that three right in front of their bench, which was a deep three. I mean, he's a very dangerous player. I mean, I said going into the season that you look at the big guys in our league, and he and Brian Amming and Derek Williams, are three really, really fine players.
But you guys are 6-3, so that's exciting for you. The point differential is only 0.3. You guys are averaging 69%. 69%. Does that kind of make you nervous at all, knowing that it's been so close in some of these?
Yeah, we've been fortunate to win some close games, no question. And you guys were asking me after the game, and I was just so relieved we won the game. And then I started thinking about it. We had big leads at Oregon State, and let that dissipate. Same thing at ASU, and then we had the game against Cal where that happened. But the bottom line is we came out on top in all three, so I am very thankful for that. And we've got to do a better job. Like, I watched our game after we met after the game, and we missed, the one block out that they tied the game with the regulation. Reeves actually went to block out, and he stepped on 24. What's the Lockett's foot? So he actually stepped on his foot with his sprained ankle, and his ankle kind of gave out. I mean, it was just, and I had turned it around. Honeycutt was initially blocking him out and had missed the block out 2 minutes earlier, so I was like, switch. So Reeves was on this side to make sure we get him blocked out, and sure enough, and we had some things that went haywire there in the last couple minutes, including, we were fortunate. We missed the front end of 101. They came down and missed. The goaltending, the offensive goaltending call on their player in overtime, that ball was going in. That guy actually hit the ball. The ball, from what my looking at over and was going to go in and cut it to one.
You talked about this a little bit on Friday, but you won't consider zoning USC even with all the problems that they've had?
We haven't played any zone yet this season, so if we did, it would be, very, very unlikely.
You don't feel like players like Honeycutt and Reeves have retained enough from last year that you could break it out?
Yeah, you know what? Never say never, but I'm not planning on playing any zone. In fact, I thought they did a good job. I watched the Cal game last night, and Cal won that game, and they attacked Cal's zone pretty well. I mean, Dante Smith had 8 threes in that game, had 24 points. Cal did a great job of scoring. Their big guys inside did a nice job, and Vucevic got in foul trouble in that game. I think that's a game where he bit his tongue or something happened. But they attacked that zone very well, which is a 2-3 zone, which is what we played last year.
Which it seems like you guys are going to go as far as almost like Zeke Jones is going to take you with the 3 losses in the Pac-10 against 5 total points. Is he really become kind of a catalyst in terms of success?
Well, one of those games was the Washington game where he hurt his finger and was really out of it from that point forward, because he wasn't sure if he broke it or. And then the next game, right after that, was the SC game, and he was still kind of unsure. He was still, even though he had shot with it all week, he still didn't have confidence in it. And I think that affected him in both those games. So he's been pretty consistent with the exception of those 2 games, and he just didn't play well at Arizona. So, but a lot of guys didn't on Thursday night.
What do you think it says about his character
Yeah, it was great, and we really needed that, and he had great resolve. I thought his first half in particular was very good. I thought he got a little bit tired in the second half, beginning of, because he had played 16 minutes in the first half and really focused on pressuring the ball and doing a good job defending. And he's going to have his hands full. The little guy, Maurice Jones, played very well against us the first time we played. And he's a hard guard because he's so small and so quick. You know what? I don't know that, how he's feeling today. When we got back the other night, he still hadn't eaten anything, and I just encouraged him to eat some bland food. But I'm assuming he's okay. I haven't heard anything to the contrary. I know Reeves' ankle's still sore, and he came in for treatment yesterday in the morning and met with our trainer and got treatment. And a lot of these kids have a bunch of classes today, so he's going to have to get his treatment before and after practice, after he gets here.
You guys have lost 4 in a row in the city. Are you starting to feel the weight of that a little bit?
I'm disappointed. I mean, we don't want to, make it 5, but I'm right now taking it one game at a time. I'm not looking backwards. I'm looking, to, this next game.
It doesn't feel like more of a must-win because you've lost 4 in a row?
It's a must-win because we really need it bad for this year's team and our team right now.
Is this a week of possible emotional overload when you look at the St. John's game and USC?
Again, I'm not even thinking about St. John's. Only thing I know is that they had a great win yesterday against Duke, and that obviously is a big-time win to being the defending national champion. But I haven't even seen them on tape or anything. All I'm thinking about right now is our next game, which is how we'll always approach it. Mm-hmm. We talked about it in the locker room afterwards. That, as I was saying earlier, to match up with ASU is really difficult because Kukos, we ended up guarding him with Jeremy Anderson and Tyler Lamb for most of the game. Where he really has an advantage is when he's matched up with other 4 men, because he's not really even a 4-man. He's like a small forward. And it really helped us. I mean, the fact that he only had 8 points in that game was a tremendous credit to the defense that our players played on him. And I thought in the first half, holding them at 20% was really, really good defense. And you knew they were going to bounce back. And, they made some big shots. Abbott they got a couple offensive rebounds. They hurt us on that. And Abbott, and Malcolm Lee did a great job on Abbott.
When you compare the two halves, it seemed like you guys were challenging a little more in the first half, or at least kind of getting out on them a little bit more. Was it as simple as maybe one step? It almost seems that small of a difference.
Yeah, you know what? They got a couple wide open shots, especially off of missed shots, where the thing was rebounded. One time it was kicked back out to Abbott. Another time Abbott's other shot was off of out-of-bounds play with a minute to go, and he hit a 3. I think they cut it to 1, or I can't remember which. But, they had some good looks. Kukoc missed one that was off a second, or made one that was off a second shot, I remember. Kind of like in scramble. When we got our defense set, I thought our defense was pretty good for the most part. We got hurt in transition defense one point in the last game, and that's been something that's plagued us off and on during games. We got to do a good job. SC really does a good job pushing the ball in transition on missed shots, and that's something that concerns me a lot about the game on Wednesday. And there was a point during the game, like we went up 10, and all of a sudden they're taking it out quick. This is about 8-9 minutes ago, and 24 just gets a layup in transition, kind of sidestepping Brendan Lane, who at that moment was matched up on him. And we can't allow teams to score that easy in transition after working so hard to get to and to give ourselves a lead.
Is this going to be the Wild West all the rest of the year? Could you win the league? Somebody win the league with 5 losses?
It's hard to say. I think Washington's already played 5 away games, if I'm not mistaken. So they still are to me, right there. And I would say that the team that wins our league will probably have 4 losses, at max, maybe less. I think last year it was 5. Cal was 13-5, if I'm not mistaken.
USC's really seem to get a boost from this crowd like you guys. Is that something you're hoping to get Wednesday, or is that something that's been missing?
No, I think that I don't think it's missing. I think our crowd was great against Cal. I mean, especially the student section was awesome, and I thought they were very good in the early morning game against Stanford, the 11 a.m. game. So I thought our crowd was really good in both of our last 2 home games, and you always get a boost when you're playing at home. It's an advantage to be at home versus on the road, no question. For any team. It's not so much drumming up fans. I just want them to know how important they are and how much we appreciate their support than trying to drum up fans. That's not what I'm looking to do, Peter. But actually tonight after practice, I'm going to go to another frat house and a couple of the sororities. So I'll be doing that right after practice today, and look forward to that. I appreciate our students so much, our fans, and that's what it's really about. That's the difference in the college atmosphere versus, say, the pro atmosphere is, having the students there and it being about the students and rooting for their school, and this is their team, really being invested in it is really, really one of the special things about college athletics that I really love and enjoy. And it definitely makes for a spirited crowd. And so we're so appreciative of our students. And we know that, next year is going to be more difficult for them because they actually have to leave campus to go to a home game. So we want to, I think we have, how many home games we have? We have 6 home games left. We want to make them all, great for our students.
You've done that in years past?
I really haven't. This is something I felt was something I should be doing more of.
Your idea or somebody?
My idea.
So, do you bring a keg or?
Well, it's funny. This is off the record now. And I told this to the frats, back when I was an assistant at UCSB, and again, this is off the record, cameraman over there. We used to be able to do that, and it wasn't so much us, it was actually the assistant AD was one of my best friends at Santa Barbara, Jim Romeo, and they would have contests for which student group was the loudest, and then whoever was the loudest, you got a keg after the game. I mean, that's 20 years ago, but, so I apologized to the frats. I said, in the old days, we used to be able to do that, but now with, so much liability concern out there, and that's no longer allowed. But that actually happened, that was back in the days of the Thunderdome when Jerry Pym was the coach, where it was really a wild, crazy place. Yeah, we get some feedback, and they're talking about, some of their wants for when the facility is back on campus, and also just interest. They want to talk about recruiting or talk about our players that are in the NBA right now, or talking about our current guys, and really impressed with the frats. Really, really sharp kids. I mean. This will be the first time going to sororities this week, so I really enjoyed it, though. I thought it was really good, and we got good feedback from it. They enjoyed it. And I brought Tyus Edney with me, and I brought Jason Ludwig, our video coordinator, who was in a frat here at UCLA, and both are UCLA grads. I'm really not going to speak to that right now because I don't want to. I have to relay that to Dan before I relay it to the media. But there were some things that they asked for that I need to just inform Dan of. 3, and that was 2 weeks ago, and then I'm going to go to 1 frat tonight and 2 sororities. But the thing is, we're right in the middle of getting ready for midterms right now. So there wasn't a lot of time for a lot of these frats right now because of midterms this week, including for our own team. We have guys that have tests this week and papers due. Yeah, no, we have it organized. I've got 3 of them tonight right after practice. Hence, this is why I'm dressed this way. Normally, you see me in my normal sweats. No toga. But one of my favorite movies of all time. At where? Yeah, what a great movie. I watched the special on the Biography channel for 2-hour special once. Where it talked about how they, how that whole thing came into being, and what a great movie. One of the best.
Any other questions?
Are we digressing? Is that what you're saying there? Okay, thank you.